Hey, what's up guys? It's Cody from Tipsy Rippers here, back with another video we got going on here. So, we appreciate you guys stopping by. This is another Ranger video. This is on my 23 Ranger, and we got some exciting things going on here. So, we got the Barricade HD bumper. I think it's 750 bucks, somewhere around there, MSRP. But I was able to get this on sale, and it was, I think I got for $570, something like that. And I already went ahead and started the process of installing it. I wasn't gonna make a video, but then I remembered, I said this is gonna be a two-part video, so it's cold outside. Yesterday it was probably like 40s. It dropped back down, way colder. It's supposed to be warmer tomorrow, but I don't got time to do it tomorrow, so I'm doing it today. I am gonna go show you what I did. But I'm going to show you a little clip of the bumper we're putting on here, and we're going to try to get it installed. I got some things to do today, so if I miss anything in here, it's because it's cold outside, and I am going to try to do this as quickly as possible. So the instructions aren't bad actually, but you know, some people like more pictures to reference. They aren't that bad compared to some of the things. So you actually get two bigger brackets, and then you get all these extra pieces here. But this is what the bumper looks like. Flip it over. I will put a link in the description. But it looks like this. I do have a scratch right there. So I ordered this from American Trucks. So it's kind of sucky that there's a scratch, but I don't got time or money to go ahead and send it back. So it's actually very heavy. But yeah, so let's go outside. I'll show you what I did so far. So here, the very first step you're gonna have to do is, if I showed you to take that little valance piece or whatever, but you're gonna have to disconnect your harness here. If you I have a tow package, so if you don't have a tow package, you may not have to do some of these extra steps, but you probably will have to disconnect at least this wiring harness here, and on each side of the wiring harness you'll have to pop these out. This one was attached to this bracket, so you just pop that out, and then there is this slide bracket that actually goes into here. You can see it's right there. It just slides in there, so you can actually just slide this piece off and keep that in the piece. I'll show you on this one, however you prefer to do it. So I actually just popped it off, but mine's still attached because I slid it back in there so then I can pop it. But it just slides in there. It literally slides right in there. Very easy, simple. You can kind of see there. See how it slides? Right. Like that. Okay, so that's your first step. That's really the only removal that you need to do, the harnesses, at least for mine. It might be a little bit different, but that's the only thing I had to remove harness wise, because everything's attached to this piece, so then when you drop it down, you're good to go. So next we need to actually remove this piece, the whole thing. So there's a total of 6 bolts, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 on the other side. Very similar. Okay. I recommend, if you have another person or if you have a jack, to stick it under the center here and just do the bolts here. What I do is I remove 2 and then I remove the other 2. So I actually use my impact on this one. So I just went ahead and dug it. But This is a 21 millimeter that I used to remove those. So once I removed all that, I went ahead and, you know, dropped it down. I just used my knees to brace it and bring it down. It's not that heavy, so I did that. The next very step is I went ahead and cleaned some of the stuff, and I spray painted some of the surface rust after cleaning it, wiping it down. The next step is these brackets right here is what you got to install. So all you have to do is, once this is removed, you can follow the steps, but if you see here, there's a bolt and it has a little wing on there to catch it. So you just slide it in the inside, and then you want to make sure that the wing is going to the right. If you look at the picture, it shows you the left side. So just do the left side and the right side. But it's very simple, very nice, because they actually include this plastic square that you can stick on there to keep the bolt in there, and then you can put the bracket up there and slide it on. Then you put the washer there, then the lock washer, then the bolt. Sorry, I was blanking out. So once you do that, keep that loose, don't tighten it, okay? And then you can go ahead and put, after you do both sides, you'll go ahead and put this on. So I wasn't showing that because I wanted to figure it out, but explanation is you just slide that that bolt in. There's a little plastic square that slides over top of it. It's just to keep it there, so then when you go to put this bracket on, it stays there, which is really nice. I really like that. And then you just slide that on and put it over. So if it helps, this is the orientation of the bracket on the right side, and this is the orientation on the left side. So sun's coming out, maybe it'll get a little warmer. I hope I explained that enough. I know I didn't show it, but I wanted to get started and it's getting cold. I almost didn't film just because of it. But so that is the starting part of it, and I'll kind of follow along as I go. And then when you put these back on under here, do not tighten them all the way, just hand tighten them. So then you put this back in place. That's what the instructions say. Okay, so if you watch my previous video, I oriented these sensors how I could remember them, putting them on. So the instructions say that take them off and install these ahead of time, so then it's easier in installation. So all you're going to do is take this off and pop this seal off. And sorry, hard to do it one-handed, but there's just a silicone seal. You pop it off, okay? Then then they include these styrofoam ones. You're actually just going to go ahead and put this foam sensor on top of it. There, it looks like there's some 3M tape here. So you're going to take that center out here. Don't need that. And then you go ahead and remove this. And you remove the center and the tape on the back. And then you want to stick it over this. Very hard, one-handed. So there you go, you're gonna go ahead and do that. So make sure that sits on there pretty good. Your finger around it. Okay. And then you're gonna come down to whatever sensor you marked. So I had that one as the right 2, so that's gonna be the far right. For whatever reason, I should have put passenger side, but this is me facing it right 2. So you'll just push this in and then you'll pop it out like that. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a step-by-step play. So go ahead, remove these silicone seal, and then you're gonna go ahead and take your foam, pop out the center, and then you're gonna go ahead and rip off the adhesive. And you're gonna go ahead and stick this over the sensor. Make sure I get it around as good as possible. And then we're gonna go over here. That's where you're putting the next one at. And then if you see there's little tabs here, you're gonna push one of those in, pop it out. And your next step is to go ahead and put the sensor in. So remember your augmentation. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and put this one this way. Hopefully that's how it's supposed to go. We can always remove it. So you just slide it in there. And then you take this piece, go ahead and get the adhesive off. And then you can go ahead and put this on the sensor. And I just kind of lined it up best I could. So it looks like that. I pushed on it. And then the next piece is this retaining clip. This is what keeps your sensor in there. So if you look in it, there's two slots. Those two slots slide down. And then just pop that sucker on. And let's see, there's retaining clips right there if you ever need to take it off. So just push down and you're good to go. That's all you have to do for that step. So after you got all four sensors in, if you're going to install pod lights, you can take those out. I'm not going to right now. Eventually I will. But next step is to get the license plate lights removed. So as of now, I ordered new ones, some LED ones, but we're just going to put these ones back in just so I have them until I get them. So just remove those. Just push this tab in right here. And they pop right out, okay? Okay, so just make sure you know which way you're going, but this tab locks in this way. So you just push it from the outside, inside. Sorry, it might be easier if you and see, struggle. Okay, so maybe stick this piece in first, then the clip goes in. So that's the best way to do it for that example. We'll do the other one here. So push the solid piece in first, not the one on the side without the tab, and then push the tab in. That's the easiest way. Okay, next step is to get your spare tire access lock off your old bumper if you didn't take it off, which I didn't. And you just slide it in this hole here, so just slide it in there. Alright, so the biggest complaint about this whole bumper is it doesn't come with the centering here, but I think I might be able to use the old one to put in there. We're going to try it, but so that might be my biggest complaint, is this doesn't work actually how it's supposed to, but you could probably get it to work if you needed to. Okay, next we're ready to install the brackets to install the bumper. So these are the two brackets you're going to need, and so we're going to take those out, get them ready to put on, and then we'll bring the bumper out and try to attach it by myself. It does recommend a second person, but I don't have a second person, so I'm doing it myself. Okay, for the next part, this is where we're going to install a bumper onto the truck. So you need those two brackets here and here. You need all the washers, so there should be a total of 6 washers, and there should be a total of 6 locking washers, and you should have 4 bolts, and then there's bolts built into the bracket. So get those all ready and easily available, because what's going to happen is this is going to go over here and it's going to mount onto this side. So there's brackets inside the bumper here. If you see right there, that's what we're going to use to slide over, and those are going to be put in from the outside to the inside to go to that bracket. All right. Okay, so when you're putting this on the brackets, I'm gonna show you underneath. My camera fell. So the brackets on the bumper go on the outside of the one mounted to the truck. So it's got to slide over here. I was having some trouble. I don't know if you could see if my camera fell, but they need to go on the outside on both of them. So see if I can give you a top view. So what I was looking at here was that needs to slide on the outside. So then it positions over correctly. Okay, next you're going to take your bracket and it's going to be on the outside and you're going to slide it in. Oh, sorry. Double check here. So go ahead and slide the bumper out so then you get on the top, and then go ahead and kind of line these holes up. And then it's best if you can get this bumper in place, so lift it up, put it over top so you can still stick your fingers in there. And the other side went in great. This side seems like it's having a little bit of alignment issues, but I got the other side in just fine. So I'll show you on that side. The exact same way, and I was able to get it in there. Perfect. So I'm gonna get this other side aligned, but if you do it from the top, it seems to be easier. Okay, so it seems like this side's a little bit tighter, but I kind of just got it, put it at an angle, and I think we should be good to go now. So go ahead and put that bumper on top, line it up with the holes. Now I should be able to push this in. So out of focus. Okay, so once you get both those sides on, you're gonna go ahead and get all your washers and bolts and everything in there. So you're gonna take 2 washers, 2 nuts, 2 lock washers in there, and it says to leave it loose, so we're gonna leave it loose here. So you're only gonna be able to access it from underneath, but go ahead and put your hardware on there. So first is gonna be your flat washer and then your lock washer. That sun is bright. So, flat washer, and then lock washer, and we're gonna do that for both. And then we'll put the nut on. If not, it'll be difficult. Flat washer. And then we stick that on there. And stick the other nut on there. And then leave it loose and then repeat on the other side. Also, don't forget about the other one. So bolt, lock washer, and then washer, and then you insert it from this side towards the back. All right. Okay, next thing you're gonna do after you get all the bolts on, then tighten them, you're gonna take these 2 little clips and you're gonna stick in these holes for the license plate. Snap them right in there. Okay, next, if you have a hitch, all you're gonna do is, they have included, at least mine, they're missing one, but 1 hex bolt, 1 washer, and then you're gonna throw another washer on there, and then another, then you're gonna throw the nylon bolt on there, and it's gonna go right here in this bracket. If you have the tow package, you're gonna mount it right here, and we'll see. Should try to show it. find another one because they didn't include it. So go ahead and find you get you a 10mm socket and the included Allen wrench. If you have your own, go ahead. Actually, I might have to use a wrench, so I'm gonna go get a 10mm wrench. Okay, so once you get that all added on here, we're gonna go ahead and get the wiring harness on. All the wiring harnesses plugged in. So go ahead and make sure everything lines up. Plug in your sensors if you need to. They include quite a few zip ties, so use the zip ties up. Get your own zip ties. Make sure this is right. Get all those, and if you need a zip tie, make sure you do that. So for this harness, you just need to take that clip and you slide it in there. If you ended up taking that clip off anyway, it just slides in there like that. There's that hole right there. Go ahead and stick that back in there. Kind of a bugger because now you got stuff in the way, but it just clips right in there. And then take this one and you can go ahead and put that back in the slot up here. Note, if you're going to install these lights, take these clips back out, then install the bulb in there, and then clip this back in there. Much easier to do that way. So to get up through here, and then take your bulb, stick your bulb in there, and then go ahead and stick this in here. Make sure you orient it right, twist it, and then stick the non-clip side down, push it in. There you go. So note, one thing that you're gonna have to do, which is already a pain, is I'm gonna have to take the time. And these sensors, some of them you're gonna have to, they won't reach. So you're gonna have to probably untape it, maybe splice it back so then you get a little bit more reach. So I'm gonna have to do that, but that's a pain. That's what you got to do on those sensors. Luckily, the tow hitch wire just makes it there if you run it right. So, the tow hitch wire just makes it there. So it's gonna be real tight. I'm not gonna like it that much because we're bending wires, but one thing to note before you get this is you may have to rewire or just reroute some stuff. Next step is go ahead and kind of tighten all your bolts, so your main bracket bolts, and then you're gonna do the bracket bolts up here. Don't overly tighten them because we're gonna have to make sure everything's aligned and the tailgate will close. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of tighten the bottom ones down here, and then I'm going to put my tailgate on, and then I'm going to see if I need to shift anything. So my tailgate was off, but you want to go ahead and open it up, see if you have any clearance issues, and then try to align it the best you can. So I gotta tell mine's not straight, but it doesn't look like I have any alignment issues. I'm gonna be able to pull this up quite a bit, tighten everything up, and then we'll go from there. And then you can always put a level on it and make sure she's good to go. So we're gonna go ahead and tighten everything. And just note these bolts are 16s, so use a 16 socket or a wrench, whatever you can fit in there. And we're gonna go ahead and tighten everything up, make sure we can get everything level as possible. And all right, so you're gonna have to use a wrench, 16 millimeter for the top bolt. Other than that, go ahead and install your license plate holder. Make sure you still have good clearance. Tighten all the bolts down. When you're tightening the inner bolts, push up on the bumper and then tighten the bottom one so that it stays in place. Do the same thing on that side, then tighten the rest. Make sure you tighten the ones to your frame, and then you should be good to go. And this is how she looks afterwards. If I didn't cover anything in this video, let me know. I will explain it in the comments or make a short. But this is how it looks. Has a nice little step, and we can put a light in there. You don't really have to relocate the wiring. If you just cut and splice it a little tiny bit, you can go ahead and get enough slack to go ahead and plug in your sensors. And you might have to cut off the clips and relocate those, so then a little bit higher on the cable, so then you can put them in the factory holes for your clips. But other than that, that is all she wrote. And look at that, rain job.